Aight, what's good, fam? It's your boy, back again to chop it up about this whole Kendrick and Drake situation that went down a few months back. If you've been keeping tabs on the scene, you know Kendrick Lamar dropped that third disc, track in like a day and a half. Dude was straight on a mission to finish Drake for real. Like 3 tracks in 36 hours? That's wild. It had folks saying Kendrick was out here speed running the entire beef. No breaks, no chill. So, if you remember that time, Drake had come through with Family Matters, throwing shade all over the place. He tried to question Kendrick's West Coast cred, mentioning other key artists like they was the real West Coast reps, basically subbing Lamar. Then Kendrick popped off with Meet the Gram, which was dark as hell, super intense vibes. But apparently that wasn't enough, because Kendrick was like, nah, I ain't done yet. And then, bam, he put out Not Like Us, just to put the final nail in the coffin. Everybody online was like, bro, he's going for Drake's neck. People was wondering if Drake would respond or if he'd just catch that L in silence. Now, a couple months later, I keep seeing folks mention that moment, talking about how it legit changed the vibe around Drake. And I gotta ask, do y'all remember how hectic that felt? It was like Drake was pinned against a wall, and every time he tried to come up for air, Kendrick had another track ready to drop. I wanna revisit that vibe, break down how Not Like Us ended up feeling like the ultimate checkmate, and why some people say it might have done long-term damage to Drake's rep. Let's get into it. First off, gotta set the stage. Drake came in hot with Family Matters, basically taking a shot at Kendrick's authenticity, plus dropping lines about his personal life. Drake was like, let me name drop other West Coast dudes like YG, Chris Brown, etc. to prove I know who's real. It kinda had that vibe of Drake saying, Kendrick ain't all that, he's not the real face of Cali. People heard it and was like, alright, let's see if Kendrick even bothers responding. But man, did he respond with a quickness. Within a day, Kendrick clapped back with Meet the Gram, going super personal, talking about Drake's entire circle. That track was dark, eerie, had folks saying, damn, this is scary. The punchline stung, but then Kendrick dropped yet another track, Not Like Us. Suddenly we had a trifecta of disses, each with a different angle, all throwing Drake off balance. That's the setting we found ourselves in a few months ago, watching it all go down. To me, the biggest question is, why so fast, so many tracks? Usually a rapper might drop one big track, see if the other side responds, then maybe do a follow-up. But 3 in 36 hours? That's pure savage energy. Looked like Kendrick was basically saying, I'm not leaving you no time to recover, I'm burying you quick. There was almost no chance for Drake to regroup or craft a solid reply. By the time Drake even could blink, Not Like Us was out, compounding all the earlier shots. And I think that rapid-fire approach messed with Drake's usual tactics. Drake normally likes to play it subtle, throw slick lines on features or albums, let fans connect the dots. But this wasn't subtle. Kendrick was hammering him from every direction, so there was no way Drake could keep up with typical subdices. If he tried, he'd be overshadowed by the next track. That's how it felt in that moment. Drake was out here catching L's left and right. Now, Not Like Us is specifically interesting because it's the third punch, but it comes in with this upbeat West Coast vibe. Like you'd think after dropping a dark personal track, Kendrick might do something similar. Instead, he flips it, uses a DJ Mustard beat, references that Bay Area flow, and basically says, you tried to claim I'm not real West Coast? Let me show you how easy it is for me to tap into these classic Cali vibes. That's the comedic genius of it. The track is danceable, club friendly, yet it's also a lethal Drake takedown. Remember Drake's claim about YG or other artists representing Cali better than Kendrick? This is Lamar's direct response like, alright, let me link with DJ Mustard, the same producer behind so many West Coast hits with YG, and show you I can vibe with that style no problem. Meanwhile, you're up in Toronto talking about who's real West Coast. That was a huge W for Kendrick because it pretty much destroyed Drake's entire angle in Family Matters just off the production choice alone. One dope part about Not Like Us is how it's comedic on the surface. Kendrick's clowning Drake, dropping jokes about his personal life, how he deals with women, how his crew is weird, etc. But even though the tone is kind of playful, the content is savage. He's basically humiliating Drake while we're out here bopping our heads. If you recall, folks in clubs would spin the track, folks be dancing, and then they realize Kendrick's spitting bars that make Drake sound like a straight creep. That dual vibe, fun music, but harsh bars, was lethal. Kendrick also used that comedic approach to highlight some truly messed up aspects of Drake's persona, from the lines in Certified Lover Boy to rumors floating around about him. So it's not just silly name calling, it's comedic, but with real teeth behind it, showing how Drake's entire brand might be built on shaky ground. That approach can stick in people's heads for a long time. Midway through the track, Kendrick starts talking about how Drake's used artists from Atlanta, like Future, 21 Savage, Migos, Lil Baby to stay relevant. Instead of giving them a platform from a place of respect, Kendrick suggests Drake hopped on their waves just to keep his name hot. He calls Drake a colonizer, which is a huge burn in today's rap culture. That word makes people see Drake not as a helpful co-signer, but as a guy who swoops in, uses your style, and moves on. It might have caused a bunch of people who once praised Drake for helping smaller artists to realize maybe it's the other way around. Drake might be the one who needed those collabs. The line about, no, you're not a colleague, you a colonizer, is a big statement. It's basically telling the entire rap game, think twice before you let Drake on your track, because he might be using you to maintain his run. That's a shot that can echo for a while, especially if other artists start taking that idea seriously. If you look at it as a trilogy, first Drake's track Family Matters, then Kendrick's replies, Meet the Gram, and Not Like Us, most fans say Not Like Us was the final knockout. It's the track that basically sealed Drake's fate in that short window of 36 hours. Some folks had hoped Drake might stand up and respond, but by the time Not Like Us was out, the internet was convinced Drake was done. People were quoting lines from the song for days, memeing Drake as 69 God and clowning him for possibly being locked out of certain West Coast circles. That momentum was so strong that if Drake tried to come back a few days later with his own diss, it felt like it'd be too little, too late. Fans love quick replies and rap beef. If you vanish or stall for too long, you look like you ran out of ammo. So that's where Not Like Us hits hardest. It left Drake no room to breathe or respond effectively. He caught an L by default because the rap world was already convinced. After a few months, we didn't see a crazy official response from Drake. He never dropped that big, here's my final word track. Some say it's because he was so outnumbered. Others think maybe Drake realized responding would just feed Kendrick's fire. But it's weird watching an artist as big as Drake not stand up for himself in that scenario. The more he stayed quiet, the more folks assumed he had nothing to say. And if your brand is, I'm the sixth god unstoppable, how you just let somebody clown you so thoroughly? This silence might have been the L we talk about. Drake didn't fight back, so the stories about him being a colonizer or not like us or shady with women stuck around. People out here still referencing those lines. Meanwhile, if Drake tries to ignore it, folks interpret that as him conceding. Maybe he's still doing big numbers streaming, but the rap community that cares about bars and authenticity sees him in a different light now. Now there's some time passed, fans keep bringing up Not Like Us as a key moment in modern rap feuds. It's comedic, it's West Coast as hell, and it's savage. People compare it to older diss tracks from iconic beefs, saying it's one of the best if you measure how thoroughly it addresses each aspect of Drake's brand, and all in just a few minutes. So that's probably why it never fully died down. You respin it a few months later, and it still hits. If Drake's music from that period didn't overshadow it, it means it had a lasting impression. You also got new fans who discover this trifecta of tracks and go, wait, I never realized how serious that Kendrick versus Drake beef was. Then they hear Not Like Us and go, sheesh, I didn't know Drake got cooked like that. Because sometimes a rap beef can exist mostly in the moment, but this one left a real record. When you can replay the songs and still find new lines, it means the effect lingers. The big question is if these disses change Drake's path. Some say yes, like maybe artists in Atlanta or other regions now hesitate to jump on Drake's next wave. Others say Drake is so mainstream, he can do a pop single and the general audience won't care about the beef. But from a rap culture standpoint, it definitely chipped away at Drake's king of rap status. People see him more as a pop star who got out-rapped and outmaneuvered by Kendrick in short order. That might push Drake to double down on mainstream hits or do collabs with pop stars to keep his chart position safe. Meanwhile, the serious rap fans might see him as behind Kendrick, no matter how many streams he does. So in that sense, Not Like Us might have done exactly what Kendrick wanted, keep Drake from reclaiming full respect in the rap world. So yeah, that's the gist of how Not Like Us left its mark on the beef. A few months have passed, but the track still stands out as the comedic yet lethal blow that ended the fight. Drake never gave a direct answer, and folks concluded he took an L. Kendrick's approach, mixing humor, West Coast style, and deep personal jabs proved unstoppable. Even after time passed, the colonizer angle lingers. The 69 God nickname still pops up, and Drake's claim of West Coast authenticity got shot down by a single DJ mustard beat. Sometimes that's all it takes. One track that sums up everything the feud's about, leaving the other side speechless. If you were around a few months ago, you know how intense that moment was in rap. And if you're just hearing about it now, go stream Not Like Us. See for yourself how a club banger that can also be a total dismantling of someone's image. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Drake can ever bounce back from that triple whammy, or is he stuck with that L forever? And if you dug this look back, hit that like, drop a sub, because we're always breaking down the realness behind these rap stories. Aight, that's it for now. Stay up, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.